Hi everyone. Hi everybody. Welcome to Seller Ladies Live. We're joined by Andrea Hills. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Oh, I can hear somebody's speaker. I've got Kelly here, flipping fantastic finds.
Hiya.
I've got Heather, treasure pirate.
Hello.
We've got Karen. Karen sells clothes.
Hello.
And Shelley, treasure pirate, eBay queen.
Hiya.
I've got somebody's speaker quite loud, so if you could turn it down. Treasure pirate, eBay queen. Hiya. Oh my goodness, I've got my voice back.
It's like there's a Furby going off.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Someone's not muted the chat.
I've muted the video. In fact, I've just got pop out now, so don't think it's me.
Yeah, it's not me. I've shut it down.
Yeah, I've only got the chat open.
Is it you, Shelley?
Oh shit! Sorry, it is me. How can that be if I've got rid of the doodah?
Yeah.
Just wait for that to calm down. Oh, sorry, Dada.
What is that?
I don't know. Heather, would you like to? Heather's got something important she wants to say to help everyone else. So I don't know if you want to say that first, Heather.
I'd love to, but there's an awful noise in the background somewhere.
I don't.
Oh, please don't say it's me.
If someone hasn't muted the chat, I've just shut my chat window down, so it's definitely not me.
Mine down.
I've only got the Hangout open.
I've got the chat on my iPad, but that's silent.
It sounds like it's yours, Heather.
Have you got the chat open?
Heather, oh no. It is yours, Heather, because you've got little green things going up and down.
Yeah. Don't think doing that's going to work. Yes, it is, Heather.
What am I doing? I haven't got anything going on.
There's a delay, so it must be YouTube. Have you got YouTube open anywhere?
What am I doing? I haven't got anything going on.
Have you got another window open?
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's there. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
Thanks for it not being me for a change.
I know, I'm just glad it wasn't me. Right, sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. So before we get into today's topic, Heather, do you want to tell everyone what's happened to you today?
Yes, I need to put out an alert to everybody. I received a phone call this morning that seemed very legitimate from HMRC Late Payments Department. A very nice young chap informed me that I owed them £1,600 plus, and that I had to pay it, or they were going to add 20% on for late payment. Now, I've looked into this. I have cried this morning because this nearly broke me. But they sound very, very plausible. I know because I've been into my tax government gateway thing that actually I don't owe any money. So this is a scam. There are people out there that are going to ring you up and make out that they've sent you letters demanding payment. You're not going to have got the letters because all they've got is your address and your phone number and the fact you run a business. Wow. And they want you to pay them there and then large amounts of money. Oh, serious. It really had me going. What made me suspicious, and something you might want to keep an eye out, and anyone who's watching this, is the number they called me on was withheld, which I found quite suspicious. The chap who phoned me sounded too much like the stereotypical accountant. That's all I can say. They were very insistent. They said if you don't pay today, it goes to bailiffs and there's money. And they said we can see you've paid well over all the years. And I'm thinking, well, you don't know everything, but because I haven't earned a lot of money to pay tax in the last few years, so I knew something was a bit amiss. I do want to ring the HMRC and tell them about this because they need to know. Yeah. But this is a scam, and I bloody nearly fell for it. I'm just so suspicious. I don't want anyone out there. If you get random phone calls, you should be able to do things by email. You should have had letters. They wouldn't just send one letter, but they're scaring people, and they got me going this morning. So please, please, please don't fall for this, because they wanted to know what my bank was, and they told me they were going to do it by backs, and I wanted to do it by PayPal, and PayPal didn't really want to do it. So when they were getting more insistent, then he put me onto his manager, who sounded even more like a stereotypical accountant, who basically said the same thing. So these are people out there basically trying to scam small businesses like us for money. And if I'd paid it by PayPal, maybe I would have been protected. I don't know. But it scared the living bejesus out of me. That's all I'm saying. I don't want anyone else to suffer.
It was authentic enough that you got as far as trying to pay by PayPal.
I was prepared to do it, because I thought maybe they're right. Maybe I do owe them tax.
Wow.
Right, that's a really sophisticated scam, isn't it?
It's a good one. They're very convincing. They are very convincing.
I'm pretty sure that the HMRC will only contact you by letter.
But they said they'd sent the letter, and I said I hadn't received anything.
Yeah, so if they contact you by phone or email, then it's more than likely a scam.
Exactly.
Even if they say they've sent you letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's frightening.
That must have shook you up, Heather. God.
It did. I'm still the heart's still going. I'm still coming down off it.
So moral of the story is, don't pay anything over the phone ever.
And I hung up on them. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Put the phone down. They have tried to ring me twice since.
Yeah. I think the advice there would be, well, what I've seen on TV is, if somebody rings you like that, the best thing to do is to say, right, I'm going to ring you back. I need to sort things out. I'll ring you back. Find the actual proper number for like the HMRC and ring them back and find out if it is genuine, because they shouldn't have withheld the number.
Yeah, it isn't genuine. And I tried to get through to HMRC, and all I've got is answer phones, and there's no one. You can't get help anyway.
Yeah.
But they threaten you. That's the thing. They threaten you with more money and additional fees.
The scary thing with those is that sometimes they say, I'll put you through. No need to hang up. I'll put you through. And then you think you're actually talking to somebody there, but you're not.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
Oh, yeah.
Scary, Lex. Yeah.
She didn't give them any money.
Sophie in the chat has said she's had so many phone calls from apparently the HMRC. She just always puts the phone down. She was in a bit of a panic the first one she got, but she gets them quite often.
Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
I'm just getting the text message. Has everyone had that this week? I've had a couple of them saying, oh, I want to buy 100. I see this on your eBay and I want to buy 100 of them.
No.
Oh, I've seen that in the chat.
You now or something, and I was like, oh, I haven't got 100 of anything. So, and anyway, buzz off. But then I saw somebody put one on Insta, like a screenshot of it. So it's going around this week, and then I've had another one today.
No, I've not had that.
Yeah. Oh, well, watch out for that as it comes as a text. I mean, you'd probably think, well, I'm not dealing off of eBay anyway, but just in case.
Yeah. No, my eBay phone number I've got on there is a pay-as-you-go phone anyway, which I only turn on like once a day if I'm lucky, because I don't want people having my number.
Steve's just saying he got the same phone call. So, yeah, it's definitely doing the rounds.
Okay.
Well, it's good to know. Thanks, Heather.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll go on to today's topic now, which was suggested by Carla Jenkins. She couldn't make it today because she's shopping she's took her parents out shopping.
Oh, you took a statement.
Sorry?
You took her statement.
A statement?
Yeah. Did you say you got her answers?
No, I haven't got her answers. No, just it was just an idea, wasn't it, for the subject? So the subject is comfort zones, in or out. And the first question is, what are the items you're most comfortable buying? And I'll start with Andrea, as she's at the front of my...
No, not again.
Do you want me to start with Kelly?
No.
Before Kelly goes again, right, chat, we want to bet how many times will Kelly drop out of this chat today?
Yeah.
Just gets nice off with
Kelly.
Yeah. If we do a late night one, it'll have to be a drinking game.
Yes.
Have a drink every time Kelly drops out.
Yeah.
Right, we'll start with you then, Kelly. What are the items you're most comfortable picking up and why?
Well, a lot that contributes to what I pick up is it's got to be small. It's got to be easy to post. And they're my two main criteria, because big items are well out my comfort zone.
Kelly,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question at that point?
Go on then.
Yeah, that really nice wicker thing you picked up in the summer.
Yeah, my peacock chair.
Not the chair, it was a stool or
Oh,
something.
the footstool, yeah.
Have you posted that yet?
It's a prop in my photos.
Oh.
So it's for business.
So I know you're a bit worried about posting that.
No, I ain't got around to doing it yet.
Fair enough.
But items that I'm comfortable picking up is pottery, jewellery, vintage, collectibles, what they call small items, smalls. So anything nice and small.
All the smalls.
Yeah,
Okay,
not
next on my pictures is Heather.
Oh, okay. I think these days I'm most comfortable picking up clothes because they're everywhere. They are easy to find. So that's my most comfortable thing. I know I've left money on the table with a couple of things that are big and bulky and I can't go for it. I like how easy they are to package. And I guess I've learned so much about them over the last 3 years. So clothes, definitely. Jewellery, yes, a bit more so now.
Karen?
Clothing, but I would say women's clothing, higher end high street, and probably tops and skirts are my favourite. Though I do pick up dresses. I try and avoid trousers at the moment, and obviously I love jumpers, especially when they have some cashmere fluffy stuff in them. But yeah, that is basically it. So it's not just clothing; it's women's clothing, and it's them things.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's easy, it's just so easy.
Yeah. And Shelley?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with certain clothing, jumpers, all sorts of jumpers and cardies. I pick up a lot of tapestry kits, filofaxes, wicker. Although I'm trying to get more uncomfortable with that, to be honest, because it's just a fag to store and post. I did try and, that might be another question. Yeah, I'll stick with that. That's what I'm comfortable with.
Okay. And Andrea?
Stuff.
Yeah, clothes for me too, and wicker. And CDs and DVDs, because that's what we started with. So I'm really comfortable with picking up, music, although there isn't a lot of money in it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And some toys, but that's obviously a very vast category. So some toys.
So mine is ladies' clothes, mostly, like higher end high street as well. Shoes, absolutely love shoes, but that's because I love shoes. So I am moth to shoes, so I do pick up quite a lot of shoes and a few bags. And I'm really into jeans. I like selling jeans. They always sell quickly for me, so I do try and pick up jeans where I can. So there are my ones. We'll go on to question 2. Is there anything you actively avoid picking up and why? And we'll start with Kelly again.
Anything with legs, clothing wise.
Right.
Anything with legs. Jeans and trousers. I just, oh no, they're so much hassle for me. I don't know how you can say you enjoy listing jeans.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't like jeans.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else, Kelly?
What that I wouldn't pick up?
Yeah.
Big stuff, like I said, anything that's too big. Toys. This is all through a learning curve, because when I first started selling on eBay, I was picking more or less everything that I saw everyone else picking up. So I've done the Jellycats, I've done the Playmobil, Lego, My Little Ponies, those sort of things, but they don't interest me. So the things like that just tend to go straight in my death pile. So I was at the car boots, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I saw a stack of 4 vintage cassette tape holders, like what Shelley's sold in the past.
Oh yeah.
£3 for the 4.
What was it? A carry one or a?
No, it was if you imagine an old record player with a Perspex top.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, I left them.
Oh, you left. Oh, sorry, I forgot what question we were on.
No, I decided to leave them. I looked at them and I thought, I know I can make money on those because I've seen Shelley sell them, I've seen other people sell them, but I thought to myself, I'm just going to leave them.
To be honest, though, the ones with the drawers, I would leave them now as well because they are quite a fag to post, and they're not as good value. Like the ones that are, say, the carry case ones, they're a lot easier to post, and
the vinyl.
Yeah, a decent amount. But I had a wooden one once that you just slot the tapes in. That went for 40, like immediately. So I'd bother with that. But the one, you know, like the old kind of like black ash ones and that with the drawers, I don't have those anymore. So if anybody's thinking, oh, I saw Shelley pick those up, nah.
I just had a word with myself and thought, well, you're not, it's too big for you for a start. Just because there's money in it doesn't mean you've got to buy it. Leave it for somebody else. You haven't got to buy everything that you see just because you can make a bit of profit. And I think that is a step forward.
Yeah.
So can we have a round of applause for that? Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Heather, what about you? Is there anything you avoid picking up?
I do avoid picking up anything that's really big because space is a premium. So something that's big, heavy, big electronics, absolute no way, because I just don't have luck with them. I did leave behind a big coat yesterday as Karen was with me, and I left it behind because coats take up so much room and I'm so short on space. And but I do pick up anything that looks interesting. But yeah, I have learned if it's big and heavy and awkward size, is it worth the trouble? Yeah.
Karen?
Yeah, big stuff. Furniture, I wouldn't even think about it. You know, I think you've got to deal with the space that you've got. So I'd avoid anything big, anything bulky. I mean, the other day, there was that coat that Heather saw, and I could have picked it up. I mean, it was £1, wasn't it? It was like a bargain for a wool coat, but I haven't got the room for one at the moment. I've already got about 5 or 6 coats listed, and that's all that I have room for. Also, you're doing your halo there, Heather. Also, I mean, things that will take forever to post. I mean, I know I've got some breakables on Grandma's shelf, but last week when I went out with my friends, I saw a 70s full dinner service for £5. Now, I didn't even look at the brand, anything like that, but I know you'll make money when it's only £5 for a full dinner service. You're talking the big plates, the side plates, the tea plates, the teacups, everything. I would have made money on it. But the thought of sitting there and wrapping a full dinner service, no thanks. And I don't pick up media either because not a lot of media has got value. And I don't know enough about it to know the value.
You don't pick up what? Reindeer?
Pardon?
What was the last thing? It sounded like you don't pick up reindeer.
Make media.
Oh.
You've got Christmas on your brain, Shelley.
Sorry. I thought that's an odd one.
I don't pick up reindeer either. Animals, yeah, I don't sell live animals on eBay either. What are they? I don't sell any animals.
Yeah, they don't post very well.
I've got to show you, Nick.
What's he doing?
Back on me, you.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Let me show them my unicorn.
Oh, it's not a bloody unicorn, is it? It's a unicorn. Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Z's popped into the chat. He says, "What's this leaving option of leaving tat at the car boot?" He's never heard of it.
Oh dear.
that's the thing.
I don't know if you can answer this question because you buy everything.
Who's that?
Shelley, you.
Me? Oh, I feel like I need to turn my speaker up slightly without it reverberating. Well, the thing is, feel like I've been learning the hard way. Although really, I should have already learned the hard way before I started doing this for myself, because previously, when I sold for the charity, I sold, you know, whatever was donated. So I sold computers, like consoles. I had some like something that went with the console. It was like what you'd have in the bottom of the car, where, you know, what do you call those things, like the gas pedal and everything. It was like that. You what?
I know what you mean. It's like it's part of the controller, isn't it? It's for when you're playing racing games.
Yeah, so it had feet, and there was also a steering wheel. Oh my God, I posted all of that stuff. And so really from that, I should have just known I don't want to do that stuff, big stuff. But then I still, I mean, one of my daughters has sort of conned me into, I don't remember that huge the wicker shelves, which were gorgeous. Unfortunately, I managed to sell them on Facebook. In fact, that woman took loads that day, including a like bamboo table with glass top, which was going to be hideous to post as well. But it's really hard when you're looking at something as well, at the car boot, and you're like, no, I've actually gone, right, I'm going to walk away, and they've gone, £1, and they've gone, oh my God, I've got to buy £1, haven't I? It's like, oh, flippin' Henry. So yeah, so actually bulky stuff, I'm going to make even more effort, and even coats I've stopped. Oh, that's bull actually, because I've just bought 2 coats. I'm trying to stop picking them up. I'm trying. I did this week. This week I did leave a really lovely vintage suitcase, and I opened it up, even though I was thinking, don't pick it up, don't pick it up. I opened it up and it was gorgeous inside, but I left it. It did hurt, to be honest. I wanted it, and I left 2 coats. What else do I out of my comfort zone? Avoid the video games, because I know nothing about them. And I've been looking in the special cabinet in one of my local charity shops this week. They've got camera lenses, really big ones. I like that. And
buy them.
You what?
I would say buy them.
I've still got quite a few cameras, but I'm just worried that there'll be something in it that I can't tell. I mean, I could look in it and see if it looks clear, but then I'll, send it out and somebody will go, oh, this is flawed, and I'm scared. So yeah, I'm scared with that sort of camera type equipment. Yeah.
What about you, Andrea?
Well, with big things, I generally tend to nick as a game, really. So if I say to him, can you package this? And if he says yes, then I buy it. If not, I noticed that he said that he enjoyed packaging big things and picking up big things.
We all need a nick.
That was a surprise for me. But then we do have a unicycle, as you've seen. And a load of Henry Hoopers. So, but personally, I leave the computer games up to him because I know nothing about it. I have no interest in it. So he picks up all the video games, computer games, all of that. And tools are another thing that he picks up that I just wouldn't even look at. I have no idea. Absolutely none. No. It's a good thing that there's 2 of us, because then we have different interests and we have,
Yeah. Do you cover, Andrew, if you go to the car boot, do you cover all bases then? Is there anything that, if it's got value, that would get left between you 2?
I don't know. I suppose if there are things that we don't really know enough about, we'd probably leave it there.
You must have quite a vast knowledge now.
Fair amount, but there's still some stuff we don't know about. So, yeah. There are things that we've sort of ummed and ahed about in the past that we've said, oh, we just leave it, it's not worth the risk. But if it's cheap enough, then we pick it up to learn about it.
Yeah.
Is it HMRC on the phone again?
No.
Ads was saying in the chat about the dinner service. What he normally does is breaks them up into smaller lots, like trios, a cup, saucer and a side plate, or sells the plates singly. I mean, I have done that in the past with sets of plates and stuff as well, because people break one and they want one to replace it, don't they?
Yeah, but you've got a photo of it all, you've got a list. I've got very little interest in it. My attention span would be like a gnat. I'd end up listing one item and that would be it.
Yeah, it's fair enough. And Indy did say she's decided to leave a load of stuff from now on. She's stopped picking up mugs, pushers, board games, books, breakables, and general shite.
Yeah, she makes, if I go out with her, she makes me buy it instead. So I've learnt the hard way that I'm going to avoid picking up cameras, lots of cameras, because you know, I know, Andrea, you've got a sort of you've got an interest in cameras, but I've realised I've just got no interest at all, and they've just sat there, and I tried putting them in the lucky dip listings thing. I was trying to try and make me list them, and that didn't work. And I just need to pick out the good ones. Well, I have picked out some of the good ones and put them on. I need to pick out the rest, and then everything else I'm just going to stick in a bundle job lot and stick it on eBay and sell it all together, get some money back.
It's good, Karen. Do you think that you've taken that punt, you've tried it, and you'll have some sort of knowledge from that now of a couple that you might pick up in the future, and you can exclude the rest?
Yeah, well, when I first picked it up, I got really excited about the box brownie cameras. I think I've got about 4 or 5 of them. And then once I started researching them, they're worth nothing. They're 10 a penny. But you think because it's really old, it's going to be worth something, because it's from the beginning of photography, when photography started. You think it's going to be worth something, and it's just not. So, yeah, don't pick up box brownies if you see them, I would say.
I think that accounts for a lot of different areas as well. Just because it's old or vintage doesn't necessarily mean it's got value.
Yeah.
It's always going to be about quality. If it's vintage and cheap shit, it's not. Excuse my language. I'm really going off on one today, aren't I? Sorry.
Carry on, Connie. Putting me in a good light.
If it's vintage and was originally really cheap and tacky anyway, it's not suddenly going to become a really hot item to sell now, is it?
But even some stuff, like I feel upset about some of the Art Deco stuff that was good quality, and it's just out of fashion, and so it's not worth as much as I feel like it should be now. That just upsets me. But, you know, it's to do with, I mean, fashion. Oh my God, I mean, look at the carrots. They're not actually, those carrots are not actually worth whatever they're going for. It's just the fashion, because everybody wants one and it's a fad.
Yeah.
So,
if it's something quality space, you could like hold on to it, I suppose, and wait till it comes. As things go in cycles, you could wait till it comes round again.
Yeah, save things.
Yeah.
I like to save some things. I'm saving destruction.
The next question is there anything you're interested to pick up and learn about that you've not bought before? And again, we'll start with Kelly.
Oh, can we start with somebody else? Because I haven't wrote that question down, so I'll quickly have a think.
All right. Okay, Heather?
Yeah, I pick up anything that looks interesting. So when I picked up those infamous Nirvana T-shirts, I'd never found them before. I'll take a punt. I do like a gamble. My clothes are my bread and butter stuff. That's my comfort zone. It's what I know. But I'll pick up anything that's interesting. If I'm not having to shell out a lot of money for it, I'll give it a go. That for me is the fun. Is actually the learning new stuff. I'll try anything: jewellery, pottery, small electronics if I'm feeling confident. Photography stuff, again, if I know it. If I've got a sense about it, I'll do it. If my instincts are yelling at me, give it a whirl. And if my instincts are going, no way, you're ever going to deal with that stuff, don't do it. So, yeah, I like the gamble.
Karen?
Yeah, a bit like Heather. You know, I am mainly clothing, and I think I'll always be mainly clothing because it's the fast turnover. But I am thinking in the new year to start going to auctions, because there's an auction house near me. It's pretty good. It's like once a fortnight, so I'm thinking about starting going down there, but it's going to have to be such small scale. But it'll be the pottery, the bric-a-brac, you know, like vintage cups and saucers, like it's been saved, you know, that kind of thing that I'd find in there, because it's house clearances. But I can't think of a niche that I haven't tried at least a little bit in that I would like to get into, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
You know, like electronics. I was saying to you yesterday, weren't I, Corinne? I've got a video player because I can't remember who picked. I think it might have been here. I'm going to blame him anyway. He was picking them up. Oh, I saw it for £3. I was like, oh, bargain! And it's just sitting there listed. I've got no money. I just want to throw it. I want to throw it in the bin because, yeah, well, I don't like them.
What about you, Shelley?
Have I got stuff that I want to try?
Yeah. Is there anything you're interested to pick up and learn about that you've not bought before?
Well, it was cameras, but I'm so faddy. I'm so like, oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to get loads of these, and then I get them, and I'm off them like that. So I'm already off cameras pretty much. I thought I would do, on the back of seeing how successful Indy was with Annie Pound Girl, with curtains. I thought, oh, I'm going to get into curtains. I started buying curtains, got flipping loads of curtains. I hate them. So the only things there's nothing I'm hankering after at the moment, but just some of the top brands that I see people picking up in terms of clothing, like I don't know how you say it, Eskandar, is it? And various Sophie on Insta keeps picking up, and I've sort of got a bucket list of those, but not so much areas at the moment, which is a good thing, I think, for me.
Andrea?
Yeah, I just reading Nick's comment. As being forced to learn is so important. Can't wait to get stuck into the van load I bought. We'll learn so much from this haul. And yeah, I don't even know what's in it. So at least he's seen it. I have no idea what we've got. So yeah, I'm quite excited to get into that as well and find out what there is and start searching it and listing it. But I've written down pottery and glassware because I've dabbled in that in the past and I really like it. So I'd like to learn more about it, what's worth picking up, what isn't, and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Kelly?
For those that are wanting to learn about pottery, glass, them type of things, I would say take a trip round some antique fairs and collectible fairs, and just to have a look at the stalls and see get familiarise yourself with what sort of things they're selling, because they're all there. It's like a bit like a car boot, but you can actually, it's better end stuff, obviously. So you can have a feel, you can look underneath and all that sort of thing. And that's the best way to learn, is to actually be around it. For myself, I'd like to have an ever-esque knowledge of clothing brands, if I could, because I do sell clothing, but it's not my nowhere near my speciality. It's just easy. That's why I sell clothing. I find it easy. But obviously, some of the brands that Heather picks up, I haven't got a clue where they are. But I always go and have a quick look on eBay, and I think, oh my gosh, yes, Heather. I'm going to get a little A to Z notebook and write all the brands down so I can remember them, because I don't remember.
Oh, the thing is, they are quite rare. That's the thing, is they only come up once in a blue moon.
Yeah, but I mean, some like I think it was Karen was saying that it didn't particularly look like it was a good brand, if you know what I'm trying to say, the label of it.
The Etro one.
Yes, yeah, but it is. So yeah, so more clothing knowledge, because I find it easy to post and pick up. And watches. Although I buy jewellery, I very rarely buy watches. So I'd like to learn a little bit more about watches, pocket watches and clocks, and them sort of things. So yeah.
It's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've pretty much tried, since I've been doing this, I've tried all sorts of things to see if there's anything that I am interested in. And I've realised really there's not a lot that I'm interested in. But I would love to find crafting items, because I've got quite a bit of crafting knowledge and obviously sewing knowledge, but I never see anything. I mean, I could sell quite a lot of my stuff, if I'm honest, because I have got a lot of stuff. But, you know, I've seen a few people pick up craft bundles, and I never see anything like that to pick it up. So there we go.
I forgot, Karen, about your fabric crafting knowledge.
Yeah, I don't do enough about it, really. I planned on my YouTube channel being about sewing as well as reselling, but the reselling's kind of took over. So that is something I want to look at next year, talking about sewing a bit more as well, because it is a massive hobby in the UK. So
Yeah.
here we go. Question number 4 is, do you have a buying price out of your comfort zone? And I'll go first with this. Basically, it depends on how much money I've got. Obviously, with the camera haul, I couldn't, at the time, it was, you know, I went and spoke to the manager of the charity shop, and it would have been over £250 if I'd bought everything individually. So when I said to her, would you take £100? And she sort of snapped my hand off. You know, that's the most I've ever spent on one thing. But obviously there's people that spend a whole lot more than that. So at the minute, for me, I mean, I've just spent £20 on a coat, and I think that's the most I've ever spent on one item. But I think it depends on how much money I've got, and also if I know it's a calculated risk. So that would be my answer. Shall I start with Shelley?
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of I spent in the summer, actually, it was tapestry kits. I spent £100 in one shop, but it was much more calculated because there was obviously a number of them, and so I'm thinking, well, if I can at least get that for each one. In terms of like a piece of clothing, I think it's usually about a tenner for me. I'm quite happy to spend a tenner on like a Ted Baker dress, knowing that I'm going to get 40 to 50, and reasonably easy. Spent 20 on a camera the other week, which I haven't flogged yet, but it has got watches. 65. It's on at 65 and it's got watches. So, but I did leave that. I did go away and like research it and come back. And so it's hard because I know some people they're happy if, well, some people seem to be happy if they spend quite a lot and they just double their money. But I'm kind of thinking, well, all those little pounds, you'd break them down and then got that for each of them. It's all about calculating the risk, I guess. And recently I've been buying, because I'm doing all these Harry Potter sets, which I sell for 150. I've been buying the first 3 or 4 hard to find, and I've been spending £50. I bought 2 or 3 off of eBay for £50 the other day. But then and I was like, oh, should I? I was like, Shelley, press the button, press the buy now, because you've already got the other books, and they're gonna go on and they're selling very quickly for 150. So do it. So I've been doing that, but not totally comfortable.
Karen?
Clothing, I'll go up pretty high. If I know I'm going to make good money on it and I think it'll go pretty quickly, I will go up I'll say pretty high, probably like £10-15. But if it's something that's like going to go up there, that I'm just like, oh, it's so niche, it's so vintage, let's put it nicely. I don't tend to spend more than £2. I just don't. Because it's more of a, obviously it still goes through the business, it's probably the wrong word to use, but it's more of a hobby, that shelf. Do you know what I mean? It's still on my main account and etc, but it's more of a, just let's have a bit of fun with it. So, but then if I was to buy something and I found out it was worth £50 and it sold quickly, I would then pay more for it if I saw it again. So, but to start off with as little as possible, if I know nothing about it, because I'm not one of these, like if you're going around a charity shop, or for those that go to boot sales, etc., I'm not one of these that's going to go around and look up every single item. I haven't got the time to do that, you know. So I think some of it, if it's cheap enough, you'll take a punt with it. If you're paying 50p for something, it's 50p. What's the most you're going to lose? 50p, you know.
Yeah. Heather?
Yeah. I don't know. Again, it's that calculated risk. If I know I'm going to get money back for it, then I will pay out whatever's required. But I want a very sizable return and a very sure bet if I'm putting out lots of money. I don't buy many things in lots. I have bought some clothing in lots, but I got to cherry pick what I wanted, and I knew I was going to make, good 4 times the money spent easily. I don't like gambling unless I know the odds are in my favour. But as Karen was saying, if you pay 50p for something, it doesn't matter if it's a dud. But if you're going to pay £20 out for something, I want to know I'm probably going to get about 70 or 80 quid coming price for it, which means your profit, therefore, is about 40 or 50 quid. I don't want to be, I don't want stock sitting around. But if something really good came up, and I'm beginning to now know what those good brands are, if there was an opportunity, yeah, I'd throw whatever money was required, knowing I would make money back, and yes, I'd do it.
And what about you, Kelly?
Well, I'm quite spoiled because I only buy from Car Boots, so most of the things I buy are well under a tenner. Say a tenner at the maximum, and that tends to be for bundles. So yeah, I've been spoilt in that way. Jewelry I've paid up for, but then I don't always know like the bottom line of the scrap value. So if it's not broken, I know I can get more than the scrap value of it. So I'm going to try in the new year to go around the charity shops in my area, because I don't go around them at all. I don't bother. But I might give it a go with my little book, with a brand book.
And Heather on
and Heather, invite Heather down for the weekend. Come and give me some education. And yeah, and give it a go in the new year, just to see what's out there, because I've got loads of charity shops around me. It's not that I'm short on them. I just don't bother with them.
Well, we'll have to come and have a fun day out with you.
yeah, come and have a day out.
You're
all invited.
Me, though. You're a long way from me.
You're all invited, and the chat. Come on down.
Reseller meetup in where is it?
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Fantastic. Not too far away.
And what about you, Andrea? Have you ever paid up for something? Obviously, I know Nick does quite often, but what about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, with the job lots, I mean, it's a joint decision, and it's something that we buy for our business. So, yes. I think in terms of individual things, that as long as we know that we can at least get our money back, it's worth taking the risk just to learn about something. But yeah, I don't really have a comfort zone in terms of price. I think that, it's on a case by case, and, we assess it as we go, really.
Yeah.
The price is right, and we know that we're going to get a good profit on it, or at least get our money back.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Right. The next question is, what items have you picked up just because you've seen other resellers pick it up? And I'll start with Shelley.
Yes. I think everybody can guess one of mine. Actually, I've done a little list. I'm not going to totally whinge or man bash, but Steve Green, Rise Size. Still got freaking loads of it in the garage. To be fair, and I think we all know, none of us say, oh, this is fabulous, go and buy it. And he didn't, but I saw him flipping up in some success with it, which was probably like a one-off, the one person that wanted some flipping Rise Size. And so I went and bought a couple of job lots of it at the Car Boot. I was so chuffed with myself. So that, and I'm not buying anymore. On a positive note, I've picked up, the reason I've got a drawer full of file faxes is Carla, and they're fabulous. It's like a little speech. I'd like to thank Caroline Lemonade for letting me know about Sahara as a brand, Sophie on Insta for Brora, and Jason Reselling for Brass. Right, I'm done.
What about you, Karen?
Right, we've got at the moment, I am fashioning up there a sewing basket. That's thanks to Mel. Wicker and bamboo. Thank you, Shelley and Andrea. I've sold one thing, but it cost me 50p. What else is there? Oh, cashmere. That's down to you as well, Shelley. Thanks.
That's a good.
But that's a thanks. That is actually a thanks. Yeah. The video player that I've still got, thanks to here. Because I thought, I'm sure it was here I saw selling them. I'm going to blame them whether it was or whether it wasn't. So,
Heather?
Cork-backed Pimpernel placemats. Thank you, Shelley. Yes, yeah. I do pick them up when I find them. I have had some in the past, but I definitely look for them now. Ditto Carla with the filer faxes. I keep looking for them and I can't bloody find them anywhere. Things that other people have picked up. I know Caroline Mrs. M used to share sort of various brands that I thought were very granny-ish, but she made good money out of them. And if I can get them at the right price, then I will. But most things, I think it's just because I like the look of them, really.
I was going to say you're a bit of a trendsetter, aren't you, Heather? Because you know your brands.
Well, I've had 3 years to learn them, I suppose. Yeah, and I don't know them all.
Yeah.
There's always new ones.
Yeah. What about you, Kelly? Anything you've picked up because other people have?
Yeah, when I first started watching the YouTube channels, I was picking more or less all sorts, well, everything up that I saw anyone else picking up. So, like I say, My Little Ponies, Rice Eye, Sid was on about on Instagram some PS2 game, and I went to the car boot the next day and I spotted it, so I brought it for £1 and I picked the wrong one up, the wrong version, and it was worthless. So yeah, things that I don't really know a lot about, but I've picked up because I've seen other people picking up, and then I've get home and they go straight in my death pile. The thing that I have enjoyed picking up that I never used to pick up was retro electricals. So the little Walkmans, them sort of things, the cassette players, calculators, them sort of things. Yeah, again, because they're small and easy to post.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Andrea?
Yeah, I think we've definitely been inspired by Sahir and bought like DVD players and retro, Walkmans and all that sort of stuff as well. But yeah, I think some clothing brands I've learned about from watching other YouTubers that I've not heard of before, so I've looked out for those and picked those up. And I picked up some coasters after watching Shelley. I haven't sold them yet, but I picked them up.
Can I just say on the Pimpernel front that I have most luck with either the placemats on their own or the placemats with coasters, but I'm trying to avoid coasters on their own now. If I just put that out there now in case anybody's going to buy.
Shelley.
What was I just going to say, Shelley, is that I've just picked up some Christmas Pimpernel coasters, but they were only £1.50, so I don't know how much I'll get for them.
Well, to be fair, if they're Christmassy, that's good. I'm literally posting a lot of today of just the coasters on their own, but it was kind of a trying to get rid of price.
Right.
Oh, I think that's my door. I'll be back in a sec.
And look what Shelley's to blame for then. Coasters. I picked them up yesterday. They were only £1.50 though.
Mine were.
Hideous, in my opinion, but they're perfect for grandma shelf.
My other thing was when I first started reselling, I saw I was watching a lot of Ben Fitzpatrick videos, and I saw on one of my local selling pages someone selling 2 of the, I don't know if you remember me picking up the Transformers head voice changer thing. They did, one of them took quite a while to sell. I did sell them both. I mean, I paid I think I paid 20 quid for them both, and I sold one for £39.99 and the other one for £32. So it wasn't too bad. Obviously you've got fees and postage. I think the postage was quite big because they were very big to package. So that was the first and last time I picked up any Transformers helmets.
Oh yeah.
And I just try a little bit of everything. I bought a Filofax recently. I got a lovely vintage gift set, and that's inspired by Indie Chick because she often picks them up, and I've seen her pick them up. So I do like to try a little bit of small stuff if it's at the right price, as well as doing clothes. So
when I very first started out, I actually did look at vintage video games and stuff like that, and it wasn't me. I've still got some up there that I haven't sold, and some books, and they're just things that I don't have a great. I mean, I love books for myself, but I don't have a great deal of interest in selling. So, in fact, now I'm just going to clear it all out and donate it because I don't want it anymore. It's not me.
Did I go down everyone down the line?
Yeah.
Can't remember whether I did or not. Right, the final question that I want to ask, make it Christmassy, is what is your favourite thing to eat at Christmas?
Whoa, that came out of the blue.
Yes, I thought I'd do a surprise question. So, anyone got an answer yet?
Mince pies.
Mince pies.
Oh yeah.
Kelly?
I don't know. I can't put my finger on one thing. I just like everything to eat at Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, my mum's trifle. She don't make a trifle every day of the week. So yeah, my mum's trifle's nice. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Heather?
I think it's actually my Christmas Eve supper. We've kind of made it a tradition in our house to have some champagne, smoked salmon and caviar on some homemade blinis, and stuff ourselves silly whilst wrapping presents.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Karen?
It's got to be the cheese board. All the different cheeses with chutneys, pickles, crackers. Yeah, that's me. I look forward to that every Christmas. Don't even mind about the dinner. Don't mind about the dessert. It's when it comes out, it's the cheese board that I want in the evening. That's what I look forward to.
Shelley?
Yeah, I haven't got one thing, but I'm trying to slow down on the mince pies because there was one year I'd had so many by the time it was Christmas that actually the following Christmas I couldn't even face mince pies because I still remembered how full I was of them. And I'm trying to pull back at the moment. I've just finished another packet. But, like, kind of like, well, actually, it was probably before December. I thought, oh, goody, I can start getting in the snowballs, mulled wine, mince pies. Have a little bit of that every night. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a bit of everything. But when I had my old job, I was known as shortbread lady because I used to make massive batches of homemade shortbread and take them to work, and then the sort of word spread throughout the foundation, and people used to come to head office, cross the road to come over to the day centre and say, we heard the shortbread here, and to come to get a free bit of shortbread. So it sort of spread out over the whole foundation that I worked for that I made shortbread and it was free.
Well, it must have been good, Karen. It must have been good, Karen.
Yeah, well, I'm planning on making some this year because I haven't made it for a couple of years because since moving here, we've been so upside down, and obviously now I've got a nice big kitchen, I can actually make some. So I'm planning on making some.
Why are you only making it at Christmas? Shortbread's not just for Christmas; it's all year round.
I don't know. It's just I suppose I could make it all year round now. It's just that I've always had a job where I've only had time off at Christmas where I could, do some baking. So I always just used to do it at Christmas.
I baked it all the time, every day. Tea cakes.
Oh, I'm hungry now. I haven't had my lunch yet.
Oh, sorry. And the other thing is, I always have a box of Gillian chocolates, right? And I absolutely love them. But if I eat more than 3, my face starts to go numb. So I usually have a numb face on Boxing Day from eating Gillian chocolates.
What chocolate? Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, seashells.
Oh God, this is literally, I eat them all. That's shortbread.
Oh goodness.
There's a half-eaten one.
Right, Shelley, I'm sending you some shortbread.
Yes.
Hang on, I like shortbread as well.
Yeah,
All right, well, send me your address. Yeah. And also, Andrea, I've actually looked up a vegan shortbread recipe for you, and I was going to make you some vegan shortbread. Because you said it a while back that you loved shortbread and you missed it, so I'm going to make you some vegan shortbread.
What was I just saying? Was it the last seller, ladies, when I was saying how thoughtful you are?
Oh, thank you.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
I just like making people happy.
Oh.
You will with shortbread, definitely.
Yeah, I'll be very happy.
I'm saying this, it might be awful, I might poison you all.
No.
I'll take a punt on it.
I don't have a Christmas tree shortbread cutter, I'm afraid. I don't think. I think I've got some bell ones and, what else have I got? Stars. I could make some shaped ones.
I could cope with that. I have to put up with just the fingers at the moment, so,
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah. I'll try some different ones. All
You
right.
got a cinnamon roll recipe yet then, Karen?
Sorry?
You got a cinnamon roll recipe for it?
Recipe for what?
Shortbread.
Oh, it's my grandma's recipe.
I'll
I've used the same recipe for years.
have to eat on Christmas Day. I'm binging Christmas Day. So
Right, has anyone got anything else to add, or should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
No.
I think that's it.
Whose channel are we on next week?
Oh, good point.
Heathers.
Heather.
With help. With help.
Shall I see if there's any questions in the chat before we go?
Yeah.
Yeah, can do. I forgot to say to people to put questions.
I know they're all there. Look, we ignore them every week. We always forget.
I did spot that Palasel, Paul and Lou and Palasel. I bought lots of paperweights after Shelley sold some. They haven't gone well. Yeah, apologies about paperweights. Pimpernel coasters on their own. Sorry about that. Don't buy big wicker unless you've got a Nick that wants to package it for you.
Yeah.
I think, as we said, we all need a Nick.
I think it's Mandy. Is that she's always flipping? Is that
Yeah.
Mandy?
Yes, Mandy.
She said who wins the reseller BAFTA award?
That's after us doing our thank you speeches.
Oh,
That's Lex, though, isn't it? Lex got the reseller BAFTA, didn't she?
yes, Lexi
Yeah,
got it.
Lexi done it.
I think the amount of wicker people picked up, I think, Andrea, you're like a reseller influencer.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. Even I considered it. I did buy something for myself.
Actually, there was something good in the chat, which I don't know if got read out, and I can't find it. It was Sophie's.
Sophie. Yeah, I'm just reading that.
Oh, about the how to up your kind of high-end clothing brand knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you?
Do you want me to read it? She's advised to go round the high-end shops like department stores and things, and then have a look at all the different brands that they sell in those sorts of places. So that's a bit like I was saying about the antique space. Familiarise yourself with the actual items.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good idea if you wanted to get into clothing.
I'll tell you something about House of Fraser.
Go on, then.
Years ago, when I first got married, we went out shopping to spend our wedding money, and we went in House of Fraser, and there was two snooty women behind the counter, and one of them looked at the other one, sniggered, and went, "Who's she kidding? Like, I could afford anything in there." And I just looked at her and I said, "Who do you think you are?" Walked out, and I never went in House of Fraser again because of that. I thought, I'm not being treated like I can't afford to spend my money in here. And I don't even think House of Fraser is particularly high end, is it?
No,
It's
That's awful.
you just had a sneaky assistant.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Barry, when we go round, we get followed around like the shoplifters.
Yeah, well, Barry does look dodgy, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, he always wears his woolly hat and things. So he don't really dress the part to go high-end shopping. But
Is that Kelly? Do you go around in the summer with like a big coat on? Is it that?
I think it might be my big foil bag that I carry around with me.
Oh yes.
Yeah, might be that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, I don't even know how to end this. Oh, there I do. Right, okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. And if you could stick around after I say goodbye to everyone else, just so we could have a little chat, that would be great.
Thank you.
We'll say bye to everyone in the chat in YouTube now, and I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next week on Heather's channel. We haven't got a subject yet, have we?
No.
Not yet, but we'll think of something.
Yeah. All right. Well, bye everyone on YouTube.
Bye.
Bye.